After a thrilling month of June, FC Cincinnati returns home following 2 road matches, looking to ride the wave of the past 50 days when they welcome Richmond to the Queen City. 3 crucial points on the line next. Nippert Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tom Glitter happy to be alongside Ryan Hanberry as we get you set for USL soccer this evening, a special Sunday edition of FC Cincinnati. The club's 7-2-3 over the last 12 matches, a busy stretch over 50 days. And breaking news tonight, as Harrison Delbridge not available, Ryan, but fortunately, Alan Koch has a guy to call on in Justin Hoyt.
Yeah, Justin Hoyt, obviously coming from Arsenal and England, had a lot of experience, very commanding, very physical, very much like Harrison Lassell. So although it'd be a miss, I believe Justin has obviously got a lot of fundamentals that he can bring to the position that are going to help the back line be nice and solid tonight.
Alan's going to stick with that 3-4-3 formation, and Justin Hoyt will be back there with Paul Nicholson and Austin Berry getting the starting nod tonight. Let's take a look at a starter on each side of the ball as we dive into tonight's key matchup driven by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. And Ryan, you got 2 guys who are going to make a difference offensively.
Yeah, I mean, 2 attacking players with Jimmy Mclaughlin and Frank Tayo. You know, Frank's a big target that's going to look to try and be a counter, a lead for that team. They're going to try and play into him and work off him. Jimmy really showed what he's doing recently with a lot of positive performances, really being aggressive going forward. So obviously we're looking for him to build upon that, continue to be aggressive on the attack, and really provide something for the FC team.
125,000 fans attended the 5 home matches in June. Another big crowd expected tonight as the orange and blue are home for the first time in July. Starters in the first touch coming your way when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. FC Cincinnati and Richmond have taken the pitch for their 4th all-time meeting. The previous 3 matches have all ended in 1-1 ties. Tom Glitter alongside Englishman Ryan Hanberry as we are just about set for play. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places, and we talked about Harrison Delbridge being out That means Justin Hoyt will start on the defensive back line. Jimmy Mclaughlin, Andrew Wiedemann, Jimmy Fall. Lots of offensive options up top for Alan Koch. At the other end for Richmond, a team that has not won since April 22nd. One of the surprising names in the starting 11 today is number 35, Brandon Eaton, making his first start of the year here on the road, trying to give Richmond a bit of a start. Our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs for the first time tonight and check in with Lindsay Patterson.
Guys, FC Cincinnati has only fallen twice in the last 12 matches. That's including U.S. Open Cup play, but they're ready to move on, focused to grabbing 3 big points here tonight. A similar storyline to what we've seen all season, managing minutes with the starting 11, different player combinations out there. And despite being at the bottom of the Eastern standings, they don't plan on taking Richmond lightly.
John Freeman is our match official. It is brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation. We can take it from here. And John Freeman awaiting the signal from the 4th official that FC Cincinnati can get this match underway. The Shadows making their way across the pitch. A little bit of an earlier start, 6 p.m. on a Sunday. And we'd imagine by about halftime, the entire pitch will be in the shade. A whiteout for FC Cincinnati. So not in their traditional blues today, wearing their all-white kits, and Richmond in their traditional all-reds. FC Cincinnati will work right to left here in the first half, and Paul Nicholson will work it along the back line over to the left side of Justin Hoyt. And talked about it in the open, Ryan. Somebody who can step in and fill those minutes vacated by Harrison Delbridge, who's going to miss his second straight match.
Exactly. Justin's going to be important in organising the back three today. Obviously working forward, he's going to have to give positive...
Early opportunity there for GB as it was crossed from the right side by Corbin Bone. Diving to his left was Matt Turner, the 6'3" goalkeeper, and he got a piece of it.
Yeah, and as the ball came across, GB met it, leading forwards. Obviously, it's a great save, tipping it around his post.
Not sure that Turner had to put a hand on it, but certainly felt like he had to make the effort. It sets up our first corner kick of the night. All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. An early opportunity here for FC Cincinnati. It'll come from the far side to the left of the goal without Delbridge. Maybe a little bit of rotation as who the targets are near the 6-yard box. Usually Harrison is playing up there. Justin Hoyt is trying to inch his way up, as is Austin Berry. Here comes the cross from the far side towards the far post. GB got his head on it and put it just over the frame.
But yeah, GB's made a great run there from obviously middle to the back. Attacked the ball fantastically well. Ball came over. Nice bit of movement, jumped early, got a good head on it. Obviously just unlucky for it just to go slightly over.
Well, 2 minutes in, and GB's had 2 opportunities. Good enthusiasm so far for FC Cincinnati, coming off a midweek loss in league play on the road Thursday night at Tampa. 2-0, 2 goals in about 8 minutes for the Rowdies, and that was the difference in the match on the road Thursday night. Came back where they were off Friday, trained on Saturday. Quick turnaround to get ready for this one, and we saw a club before the match that was loose, focused on the task at hand today.
Yeah, obviously in possession right now. We're looking for FC just to be obviously patient in what they're doing. Lots of numbers behind the ball for Richmond, and it looks like they're setting up and matching us in formation.
Kenny Walker forward to GB, has it at his chest. GB with an early strike and a goal for number 9.
What a great ball over the top, by the way. It's a fantastic ball and a fantastic finish by GB.
The 6-foot striker from Senegal has his 9th in league play, and FC Cincinnati strikes early.
Yeah, well, they picked the ball up obviously in midfield, and it's a stunning diagonal ball. Obviously the back line got caught flat, but GB opened his body up well as it comes over the top. It's a great little open up of his body, and the strike is nice and clean through the middle of the ball, head over the ball, and obviously clearly happy to score and celebrate his goal like that.
Some dance moves for GB following his 9th of the year. Give the assist to Kenny Walker. That is his 3rd on the season. And Alan Koch talked about it with us before the team meeting. He said, boy, would a quick start be great. This is the third consecutive league game that FC Cincinnati has scored here at Nippert Stadium in the first 10 minutes. So another quick start and a jolt of confidence early for the orange and blue.
And Kenny really dictates that. He puts the defense under pressure straight away by playing a positive pass, testing their line, testing a new formation that they're set out in. And obviously it made a huge difference finding the space for GB to finish.
Today's injury report is presented by the Levy Law Offices. They turn your crash into cash. A chance at the other end for Richmond as Teyu got loose in on Mitch. Hildebrand had to come up off his line, deflected it away. We'll see a corner kick here momentarily for Richmond. First, the injury report. We mentioned Delbridge out with a groin injury, and actually Marco Dominguez, who will be our halftime feature tonight, he is out with a lower leg bruise suffered in training yesterday.
Obviously Cincinnati getting a little fortunate there, get caught flat. It was a good ball, but Mitch stood up big.
This corner kick also brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Will come from the far side, swung in, far post, headed away out on the end line, and touched last by Richmond. So a goal kick for Mitch Hildebrand, and solid defense there from FC Cincinnati.
Yes, certainly, and obviously when a chance has just been given away, obviously you want to slow down for a second, regroup, and obviously look to make a good decision out of the back from here.
Hildebrand will get his first goal kick of the night. Of course, the last time FC Cincinnati was at home, one of the most memorable soccer nights ever here at Nippert Stadium. A huge win over the Chicago Fire in the U.S. Open Cup round of 16. And we saw Mitch make 3 saves on 4 penalty kicks to knock off an MLS side for the second time in June. And I get chills still just thinking about that performance in front of the Bailey and what Mitch did that night.
Yeah, no, Mitch has been obviously massively important. He raises the energy. He's obviously nice and confident in what he does, and it really brings it through to all the team. So lots of positives from that night, and obviously we want to continue to build on that.
Kenny Walker working in the midfield. Kenny and Corbin Bone, neither started on Thursday night. They both came home and took advantage of a little bit of off time with a new hairstyle. We'll get into that. You know, this Corbin who went blonde last summer, he said it was time. The calendar reads July, so he went blonde again. And he took Kenny Walker with him, who got some highlights in his hair, and teammate Aiden Quinn, who's in the 18 but not starting today, went blonde as well. Richmond working to the attacking third, and a foul will be called on Frank Teyu, who came in too strong, knocking down Matt Boehner.
Yeah, well, obviously Frank's trying to break away. Matt Boehner did a great job of getting his body in the right position, obviously in between the ball and the player, and he had to go through him.
6'1" forward picks up the foul. Justin Hoyt at midfield, knocks it forward to Tyler Pollock. Pollock also had the night off on Thursday. As Alan Koch talked about it, 50 days, and Lindsay said just 2 losses in that 12-match stretch, but 12 matches in 50 days for FC Cincinnati. That equates basically to playing every 4 days for almost 2 months. You have no choice, but you got to rotate some minutes. And Alan Koch has done a good job at that, with going 7-2-3 across the stretch.
No, and a lot of it comes down to obviously players putting expectations on themselves, coming in and obviously raising the standard of the team. They've done that over this period. Obviously it's been a great little spell over the last 12 games for the team, but obviously they see today as its own individual game, and they've started in a positive way.
Pollock working on the left. Forward for Mclaughlin. Jimmy Mclaughlin has been fantastic this season. Back to Bone to Pollock, and then taken off his foot and picked up by Brandon Eaton, who's making his first start and first appearance of the year for Richmond. Matt Turner, who got beat early, sends it out in the midfield right to Kenny Walker. Walker chipping it forward. GB was holding off to make sure the flag didn't go up, waited just a hair too long. Sonny Janae trying to push it forward, cannot. Richmond will have to work it back to their defensive line. Patty McCann out wide to the left. Richmond working in the sunny half for the pitch, far side. Good footwork as the Kickers try to get into the attacking third. Chris Durkin into the middle, broken up Nicholson. On to the right, Evan Lee. FC Cincinnati fans remember Evan, as he spent last year in orange and blue and signed with the Kickers during the offseason.
FC have done a great job here just getting players behind the ball. Now it's a lot of communication and organization for when the ball is sent in.
Richmond unable to find any look really inside of 20 yards, and Justin Hoyt will clear it out. Jimmy Mclaughlin's going to put some pressure on, trying to win it back. 9th minute, FC Cincinnati with an early goal from GB to make it 1-0. Tonight's keys to the match are brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. And Ryan, take us through what you have tonight for FC Cincinnati.
Well, with FC coming into this game, obviously continuing to build on their confidence, they need to control possession of the ball. You know, obviously dictate the tempo, be positive in what they're doing, but make sure they're dictating the ball. Obviously, the team with the ball can obviously have much more control over what's happening. So be patient. They're going to sit in. We know we want to obviously maintain possession, so slow down in that. And obviously communication and organisation is pivotal. New back line, Justin Hoyt going back in there. Can those leaders in Paul, Austin and Justin communicate clearly?
FC Cincinnati has definitely commanded the possession here early on, and the organization solid. GB's had 3 looks and he's finished 1 of them. Played off the foot of Mclaughlin in the midfield, picked back up by Richmond. Now knocked back to the defensive line, and then Richmond will try to push forward down the left side. Nobody home. Austin Berry with a ton of room to work to keep it into play.
That's the 4th or 5th time, though, they've looked for Frank already. Obviously, we made him out to be a key part of their team, and he is a big target. We've just got to be aware, if you FC Cincinnati, of where he is at all times, because he is a presence and he can certainly be a threat for this Richmond team. A
lot of room up the right side for Matt Boehner, the Cincinnati native. Leaves it off for Jimmy Mclaughlin, now over to Wiedemann. Boehner working his way inside the 18, drop back to Walker, who already has an assist. Tried to thread the needle, feeding it to Boehner, didn't get there. Corbin Bone knocks it down. FC Cincinnati continues to bring pressure, and then it's picked up by Richmond. One right back by Boehner. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health.
You see FC just being patient, obviously controlling the possession.
Pollock and Hoyt connecting on the left side. Into the middle, Paul Nicholson making his 7th start of the season.
One thing you notice with Richmond is they have changed to a 3-4-3 also. They've matched up formations with FC Cincinnati. That's something they haven't been doing in the last couple of games, so it is a change for them defensively and offensively, so it'll be intriguing to see how they obviously build up in this new formation.
Richmond had been working with a 4-2-3-1, and looked like Richmond picked it up as the ball was rolling along the touchline. Alan Koch wanted a handball called. That was Eaton, who I mentioned making his first start of the season, picking it up, and much to the chagrin of Alan Koch, no call there on the youngster. Meanwhile, the Kickers sail it out just over FC Cincinnati's bench, so the home side will earn a throw-in, leading by a goal early on. Pollock in the direction of GB. GB flanked by Evan Lee. Sends it out to Boehner. Walker tapped it forward. Wiedemann might have a chance. Turner has to come off his line. He hesitated for a moment, and had he spent maybe another second thinking about it, Wiedemann would have gotten there first. Instead, Turner was able to collect.
Well, Kenny's obviously learned from what worked early in the game. He recognized this space there to be utilized, and he nearly took advantage again.
Corbin Bone trying to track it down in the midfield, unable to. Go over to the left side, Patty McCann. Raul Gonzalez, the midfielder out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. 10th start of the season for Gonzalez, a Memphis product. McCann going to try to switch sides of the pitch, send it over to the right to Eaton. He put too much into it, sailed it over his head.
But Richmond are doing a good job right now as far as spacing on the field. When they do get the ball, they are trying to make it big. However, FC Cincinnati have been really disciplined in the way they've defended, got to their starting spots early, and obviously that's made it much easier for them to step to the ball and do the right thing defensively.
An absolutely perfect night here in Cincinnati for soccer. Sun still shining on about half the stadium, but the crowd expected to be again around 20,000. The 5 matches in June, FC Cincinnati averaged 25,000 fans per match. 125,000 fans came to watch soccer here in this city during the month of June in 5 home matches.
It's fantastic for the city of Cincinnati. Obviously, the support the fans have given them, but a lot of it comes down from the belief that the players are showing. They're working extremely hard, and obviously the way they've started this game, you can understand why people want to come out right now.
1-0 in the 14th minute. Paul Nicholson working in along the back line, sends it over to his fellow center back, Austin Berry. Now to Corbin Bone, working it across midfield onto the foot of Andrew Wiedemann. Walker to the right, Berry. His former Louisville teammate will send it on to the left, Tyler Pollock. Heads it down. Mclaughlin trying to get in there. Evan Lee finds it first. And Pollock had a boot come up near his face from Eaton. Again, Alan Koch looking for a call. He won't get it from John Freeman, the match official. Interesting to note, John Freeman has been at Nippert once this season. That was back on April 19th, the match against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Of course, in that match, he issued a questionable red card to Kadeem Dakers late in the match. Corbin Bone trying to send it over to the left, didn't quite get there. Paul Nicholson finds the header in the midfield.
And obviously Nicholson's going to have that battle all game. You know, the ball's going to be played up to Frank. Paul's got to be competitive, and he has been so far. It's been a good start for him.
Frank Teju, a big target for Richmond. 6'1" out of Las Vegas, played at West Virginia. Has 1 goal on the season. This is just his 2nd start. Someone who's getting more comfortable with the club after being signed on June 16th.
Well, what you noticed earlier is obviously with some direct passes, the defense has now started to drop a little deeper for Richmond. It's given Cincinnati a lot more time in possession in front of their defense. They've just got to be patient with the ball.
Wiedemann gonna be called for offside on the touch forward by Tyler Pollock. Flag went up far sideline. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers.
So when we talk about communication and organization, this are the times right here. There's that back line can really get everyone set when the ball's in the defensive third for Richmond. And obviously Justin and Paul need to lead that back line right there.
Matt Turner sends it out across midfield. Kenny Walker able to win it back. Looking to his left. GB's offside. Flag went up. And GB was able to hold off and keep the whistle from coming. So the attack alive for FC Cincinnati. Nifty move there by the big striker from Senegal.
Yeah, you've sometimes seen those given. Sometimes they play that little advantage for that supporting player. Obviously FC Cincinnati getting the decision there. Now looking to take advantage of it.
Walker set up the first goal. Sends it on to the right and finds Boehner. Looking for a service from the far side. Back to Walker, into the middle, Bone, and he has to get rid of it as he was quickly swarmed by 2 red jerseys.
And Richmond are working extremely hard defensively to work and obviously cover the ground in the midfield. Got a couple of younger players in there that haven't played as much today, so obviously the way they're covering that ground is quite impressive early.
Barry working on the right will turn and feed it back to Mitch Hildebrand, wearing all blacks tonight with the match official in a green top. Mitch prefers the fluorescent yellow that he had last time he was home against the Chicago Fire. GB headed it on in the direction of Jimmy Mclaughlin. Flag went up, and there FC Cincinnati will not get the advantage and be called for offside for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, no. GB obviously looking to continue to be a threat at that time, just offside, but certainly recognizes where space is and continues to pull into that space.
Connor Shinosky, the 6'4" defender from Pittsburgh, puts it back into play. Shinosky, of course, spent the last 2 seasons with Louisville City. One of the anchors this season for Lee Cowlishaw on his defensive back line.
No, they have great size back there, a lot of big presence, obviously good leaders back there. They're obviously going to have to continue to be organized because GB's proved early that he can be a threat.
Sonny Janae, who tonight making his 5th start of the season, number 10 in red, trying to work it in the middle. FC Cincinnati not giving the Kickers a whole lot of room to try to push it forward in possession.
No, they get into early starting positions, and being able to get to those early starting positions really allows everything to stay in front of them. Then obviously it's just communication and work rate.
Janae on the left side. Teo was calling for it across the middle. Not sure Janae saw him. Onto the right side, intended for Eaton, headed down by Tyler Pollock. Bone and Nicholson knocking it back and forth, and now Nicholson will send it over to the left and find Justin Hoyt.
You see this patience here. The ball's still in possession of FC Cincinnati. They don't need to force anything.
Long ball was short for Boehner. Richmond wins it back and misplays it as it ends up on the foot of Austin Berry, who will quickly turn it back into the midfield. Walker up the left side, finds GB. GB brought it down, but Evan Lee was there to take it off his foot, and then Lee played it back to his goalkeeper. GB was nearly able to pick it off.
No, they're always risky when you play back to your goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper kept his eye on the ball. Great strike of the ball, obviously, to clear it, but GB obviously wanted to score his 2nd goal.
Matt Turner has been tested tonight. Of course, GB early on in the season against St. Louis introduced himself to the city of Cincinnati in a big way.
Yes.
With a 4-goal match back in mid-April. Barry wearing the captain's armband tonight. Knocking it around with Boehner and Kenny Walker, and back to Hildebrand. 21st minute at Nippert Stadium, 1-0 in favor of FC Cincinnati, thanks to a GB goal in the 3rd minute on a pass from Kenny Walker. Great pass at that.
No, Kenny's got a lot of quality, obviously. In the middle of the field, he's getting a bit of time and space a little deeper. And obviously, this is obviously pushing the Richmond defense back, giving him a lot more time and space to make more quality with the pass.
Evan Lee with the throw-in. Goes right back to FC Cincinnati. Corbin Bone with some space to work. Bone over to the left, Wiedemann. Wiedemann going to try to send it into the middle, and Corbin Bone puts it in, but it'll be waved off. The flag was up on the far side of the pitch.
Certainly looked close. It certainly looked close. Be interesting to see it again.
We'll see the replay here in a moment. Of course, Andrew Wiedemann scored a goal against the Chicago Fire when he was clearly onside and didn't count. Let's take a look. That's that. Are you okay with that? Or, I mean, it looks like there's 2 guys behind it, right?
Yeah, no, it certainly looked to the timing of the ball in real time. I certainly felt like he was onside. It was.
And obviously the camera angle not from the 18, which would be the ideal way to look at it,
yep,
from midfield, but it sure appeared to be 2 red jerseys behind the ball when it was sent into the middle. Either way, we stand at 1-0, and then a foul call quickly at the other end on FC Cincinnati. Richmond's going to have their best chance of the match coming from about 30 yards out.
And we know with this Richmond team, although they haven't scored a lot of goals this season from set pieces, and in particular situations like this, they have had a lot of success. So Mitch has to be ready here, and obviously Cincinnati need to be organized for some quality that Richmond have.
Raul Gonzalez will stand over it. He's the only Richmond player near the ball right now. FC Cincinnati with 4 on the wall. See what Gonzalez, 5'9" midfielder, looks for. He'll strike it with his right foot right into the wall. Knocked down, and Andrew Wiedemann will come over to grab it.
Yeah, Wall standing big, being strong. It's important, obviously, when the ball's been struck from such a distance.
Evan Lee will knock it down. Richmond working through the middle. Janae. Here's Sonny Janae, the native of Lesotho. Over to the left, Durkin. Durkin along the end line. Knocks it off the foot of Austin Berry. Corner kick coming for Richmond.
And Sonny Janae is obviously usually a central player, playing a bit wider today. And obviously, first time he really came central and was able to create. Cincinnati need to be aware of him. He got the assist last game out. He's obviously going to try and build on that and be creative.
Corner kick. Comes across the middle. Kenny Walker knocks it up. Came off the foot of Troyer. Troyer will collect as Walker knocked it out wide, and he was right there. Troyer with a service into the middle. Austin Berry heads it up over the frame. And another corner kick coming for Richmond.
They're never easy to deal with. Obviously, the ball got wide, was played in between the goalkeeper and the defender. Austin going towards his own goal. Had to get contact on the ball and made a good clearance.
Talked about the organization of FC Cincinnati. Richmond's done well to stay organized after the goal in the 3rd minute by GB.
Yeah, when you concede early, obviously, the first thing you want to do is get set, defend properly, and obviously they've managed to regroup, do that. Now the game's kind of at a stalemate where both teams are trying to figure each other out again, but definitely positives from both teams to start off with, but the early GB goal is something that FC Cincinnati will hopefully try and build on.
Milan Roberts headed the ball out along the end line. So goal kick for Hildebrand will set up FC Cincinnati the other way. Mclaughlin out wide for GB. Turner way off his line to come and knock it out along the touchline. Throwing inside the attacking third coming for the orange and blue. It'll come quickly. Pollock into GB. Now out a bit deeper to Bone. On to Kenny Walker. Walker was looking to his left for GB, who didn't make the run. And it sailed over his head. Goal kick coming from Matt Turner. He's been active early, having to get out, come off his line a few times.
Yep.
Made the early save on the first shot by GB, and then moments later, GB was able to push one past him.
Well, as a goalkeeper, sometimes obviously you are that sweeper to the back line. With Kenny looking so direct, GB looking at threat there, he's going to have to be active, be on his toes, and obviously look to sweep up behind his back line.
Chris Durkin knocking it back to Eaton on the right side. Eaton sent it forward and it rolled out inside the defensive third. FC Cincinnati will get it in quickly. Nicholson to the midfield, GB. Walker takes a knock in the midfield as there was a collision between McCann and Walker. John Freeman afterwards will have a conversation with Patty McCann, but no discipline necessary.
Well, yeah, McCann obviously is trying to close that space on Kenny. Kenny has been a threat early, and McCann obviously just trying to close that space, just comes in a second too late.
Clearly a foul, but no need for any booking, as we have not yet seen John Freeman bring out any formal discipline tonight. McCann collecting it for Richmond and then misplaying it to Kenny Walker. Boehner with heavy defensive pressure sends it out along the touchline. He wanted a foul call, won't get it. Richmond will get a chance to throw it in. Teyu, who's been quiet the last 10 minutes or so, trying to get his head on it, far touchline, cannot. Throw in for FC Cincinnati, and the home lads will work it to the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, both targets obviously looking to stay high and make this field as big as possible. So we have a good interception here.
Lee took it off the foot of Mclaughlin. Janae will go to the left, Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez gets inside the 18. Boehner got there defensively. Durkin can't play it. McCann whiffs on it, and Corbin Bone will end up clearing it. GB's going to battle with Evan Lee in the midfield. Said earlier, FC Cincinnati fans might recognize Evan Lee. They might not. He didn't have the long hair or the big beard last year playing for FC Cincinnati. It's changed his look a little bit, living in Richmond, Virginia.
No, he's certainly been involved a lot early. GB continues to pull out to this left-hand side. He's going to have to be competitive and strong.
The Ohio Wesleyan product, making his 9th appearance on the season. He did start the match when these two teams played earlier in the year in Richmond. Sent across the middle, Justin Hoyt heads it away right in the direction. That service was right there for Teyu, but didn't quite get to him. Hoyt found it first. Richmond's going to earn a throw-in deep inside of their attacking third. Here's Evan Lee. Alex Lee, also a defender who plays often for Richmond. He's played in 14 matches this season. He's not involved in the 18 tonight. Nothing on their formal injury report, but Alex Lee not available tonight for Lee Calishaw. Evan Lee getting the starting nod. Hildebrand across midfield onto the chest of GB, and then GB will be called for a foul. A bit too aggressive apparently as he received the ball.
You've seen it straight away though, GB recognizing that Evan obviously is going to be an interesting battle obviously in the air.
GB tried to go out wide right to Matt Boehner. Richmond won it right back. Eaton with some space near side of the pitch.
FC doing a great job though getting bodies behind the ball. Richmond just need to recognize, as we spoke about with FC Cincinnati in this formation, you got numbers to keep it, recognize the right times to go forward.
Matt Turner has the ball played back to him, and he sends it well across midfield. Justin Hoyt was there to disrupt, and Matt Boehner will see what he can do on the right side. Kenny Walker back to Paul Nicholson as the Bailey continues to chant. We are 2/3 of the way through the first half. Tom Gletter happy to be joined by Ryan Hanbury today. Kevin Mclaughlin out on vacation back in Belfast, Ireland. And I believe Kevin, his brother, and probably some of his mates staying up late. What is it, about a 5-6 hour difference?
Yeah, no.
So we're looking about midnight or so, a little bit past midnight back in Belfast.
No, Kevin's an FC supporter, so obviously if he gets the opportunity to watch a game, no matter where he is, he'll try and support the team.
He did text me earlier today and confirm that he had talked one of the pub owners into putting it up on the screens. I'm sure he had to really beg for that one. They know what that Mclaughlin bar tab would look like by the end of the match. They were more than happy to put it up.
No, I have no doubt about that.
So, Kev, we hope you're enjoying your time off. Glad to have Ryan with us tonight. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Mitch Hildebrand with a goal kick coming as we roll over to the 32nd minute. Orange and blue leading by a goal. Mclaughlin was trying to get to it. Eaton came over his back, broke it up. Wiedemann won it back and gave it to Jimmy. Pollock back to Walker. On to Mclaughlin. His service across the middle. Turner able to get there before GB could.
And Matt Turner's certainly expecting those crosses. You see him early looking to step towards them. GB's obviously a threat in the air. They're aware of that. Matt Turner did a great job obviously coming and commanding his area.
Talked about GB's goal, his 9th of the season. Came into this match 5th in the USL in goals scored. Not bad for a guy who is just tonight making his 10th start, 12th appearance due to a 6-match suspension, being in the top 5 and scoring in the league.
It's an impressive return, no doubt about it. And as you say, he scores all sorts of goals.
Has 3 goals in Open Cup play as well. So 12 overall here in 2017. 9 in USL action. Justin Hoyt pulling it back to the defensive third and working with Paul Nicholson. Nicholson, the native of Whitehaven, England, and they really look for him in the middle of that formation, the 3-4-3, to lead the back line and make sure everybody's in the right spot.
Yeah, no, obviously Nicholson's got the experience back there to be able to provide information to those in front of him and next to him. He's obviously a commanding player. He knows exactly where to be, so his instruction, communication is going to be key to getting this team organized, not only next to him but also the guys in front.
Evan Lee looking to throw it in. Finds Teyu. Teyu crawling on the pitch, trying to stay with it. Corbin Bowen was able to take it away.
And Corbin certainly looks fresh. I know he didn't play in midweek, but he's working all over the field, been in possession of the ball a lot, but also doing a lot of work defensively.
Hoyt working on the near side will send it into the middle. Austin Berry. Interesting to note the 3 previous matches between these two clubs, twice last year, once already this year, back on May 6th. All 3 matches have ended in 1-1 draws. Jimmy Mclaughlin with a great move, takes a shot. Turner with a huge save. At point blank range, Jimmy Mclaughlin trying to make it 2-0. Turner came up with a big play.
Jimmy got back onto the foot he wanted. He wanted to get back onto his right. Matt Turner stayed big, obviously covered his near post well and got a nice strong contact on the ball.
Great opportunity there for the orange and blue. It remains 1-0 in favor of the home side. Walker got it over to Boehner, who got his head onto it but then able to stay with it. Let's take another look at that opportunity for Jimmy Mclaughlin.
No, as I say, the ball was played over the top. Jimmy was isolated 1v1, got back onto the foot he wanted, decided to go near post. Keeper stayed big. Jimmy's obviously got the decision there whether to go near or far. Matt Turner stayed big, obviously near post, and made the right decision.
Connor Shinosky was moving in defensively for Richmond for the far post, and that may have been part of the reason that Jimmy, in that split second, makes the decision to try to go near post. He had beaten Evan Lee already, but Shinosky did well to provide some support and maybe keep Mclaughlin from trying to go far post.
So, and Jimmy scored the last time these two teams met, so obviously goalkeeper and player know each other well. Jimmy obviously coming in from that situation did a good job. It's just a good save. Obviously Jimmy we're looking to do better next time.
Mclaughlin had that goal in the 70th minute in the matchup at Richmond to tie the match and earn a big road point. That was when GB was suspended. Danny Koenig wasn't yet on the club in that match. Andrew Wiedemann actually started in the 9 role.
Yep.
He started tonight, but obviously not at the 9. They have number 9, GB, to fill that position.
And tactically, FC was set up a little different that game. Obviously, we switched them formation a couple of games after that, and it's obviously helped the team grow.
Mclaughlin feeds it into the middle. GB up to Wiedemann. Mclaughlin making the run to the left. Chips it back across, and just a bit too tall for GB, but more good offensive attacking from FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, positive movement off the ball by Jimmy. GB's always going to be that target, but we need runners coming from midfield if you're FC Cincinnati, and Jimmy obviously provided that.
Jimmy has been solid all season long. We saw the contributions he made when he came in against the Chicago Fire back on June 28th in the Open Cup match, providing a spark. Wiedemann as well, and Corbin Bone. Those were the 3 subs for Alan Koch, and the match certainly changed in favor of the orange and blue when those 3 came on.
Yeah, but it's a lot of movement off the ball. You know, a lot of people want to stand, get the ball to feet. With Jimmy, Corbin, 2 players that really want to obviously move off the ball, provide support for players that are looking to check and get it. So it makes a huge difference, opens up the field, really makes it a lot bigger, and causes a lot more problems for defensive players.
Hoyt to the middle, finds Wiedemann, dropped back for Bone. Then Wiedemann down after drawing some contact. Looks like it was Chris Durkin who got a piece of him. Sonny Janae coming in. John Freeman immediately is calling for the medical staff. I wonder if he drew some blood. A little bit of a shoulder there towards the head.
Looks like a bit of frustration there. Stepped obviously as the ball got released, kind of came through a little late. Be interesting to see what the contact was.
Doesn't appear as though Andrew Wiedemann is bleeding in any shape or form. Aaron Powell came out to attend to him. So a little bit surprised that John Freeman called for the medical staff as quick as he did. There was no discipline handed out.
Of course, I believe when there's any contact with the head, obviously people are obviously very conscious of that. With any concussion protocol that may need to be followed, so we wanted to get the medical staff out there early, but it looks like Andrew's okay.
Alan Koch calling towards John Freeman, hoping that Wiedemann will be waved back on, and he is. FC Cincinnati will try to set up their attack again. About 7 minutes left here in the half, plus whatever stoppage time is tacked on. 4th official tonight is Aaron Mitchell. Left side, Hoyt. Walker and back to Nicholson.
And you see the way that Richmond are setting up. They are dropping much deeper now. They are scared and vulnerable of that space behind because it was taken advantage of early.
Nearly a handball on the far side. Patty McCann, I believe, was over there, did not touch it, according to the match official, and play will continue in the 39th minute. Paul Nicholson trying to intercept the pass as it came on to Teyu. Was tripped by Frank Teyu, and foul is called. FC Cincinnati gets it right back.
Yeah, Paul just taking obviously the physical battle out of that by trying to anticipate and step in front. Did a good job of getting to the position early. Frank had to use his body. The foul was given.
Nicholson out across midfield to the attacking third. GB heads it down. Mclaughlin will come over to collect it. He'll get some support from Pollock. Pollock with the service. Wiedemann can't get his head on it. Nearly played back to the goal. Evan Lee clears it away. Boy, that was almost an own goal. Sonny Janae collects in the midfield as Richmond recovers, but a dangerous situation there for the Kickers, who nearly went down 2 goals.
And their position's Tyler Polak with his quality on his left foot.
Austin Berry's going to have to battle the other way. Teyu inside the 18, chipped it between the legs of Austin Berry. And did they actually call a foul on Teyu pushing off there on Austin Berry? I don't think so. A little bit of contact there as he couldn't get a clean look on it.
No, but taking advantage of that space and behind the FC defense, they just need to obviously stay switched on. They have a 1-0 lead. It's important that that communication stays consistent throughout the half.
Hoyt with the feed from Hildebrand, now into the middle. Nicholson. Right side, Matt Boehner. Pushes it towards the corner, Wiedemann. Wiedemann into the middle, past Boehner. GB finds it on his foot. GB hits the crossbar. Mclaughlin can't get a header on it. It is cleared away. And a foul is going to be called on FC Cincinnati inside of the 18. GB found the woodwork and nearly made it 2-0.
Now, as the ball was cut back, obviously into a lovely position, GB opened up his body beautifully onto his left foot, struck the ball really clean. And the foul was given after, but GB moving the ball fantastically onto his left foot, struck the ball nice and clean, just got a little under it, just smacking the crossbar.
Free kick the other way for Matt Turner. Another great look for GB, who's been efficient here in the first half. That might be a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, no, he's got the goal he wanted. Obviously, he's had a few opportunities since then. He's obviously going to look for that second goal, be nice and aggressive with that.
Boyd onto the left. Gives it to Pollock. Into the middle, GB. Nicholson with Teyu closing in, has to play it back to Mitch Hildebrand. Because it was a back pass, Hildebrand had to head it away.
Mitch did fantastically well there.
Didn't have a whole lot of options, but did a good job clearing it away.
Well, sometimes you have to clear your lines, and obviously they were under pressure there. Mitch going a little bit bigger with the clearance.
FC Cincinnati was called for a back pass very early on in the season. Indirect free kick was given, I believe, it was either a Pittsburgh match or one of the early Bethlehem matches.
Yeah.
And FC Cincinnati was actually able to make a stop on the play from about, what, 6 or 7 yards out.
Now, when they do happen, obviously indirect free kicks in your own box, they are unique situations.
Janae forward, broken up by Boehner, but it's not done yet. Boehner is called for a foul. Yeah. Oh, the flag went up on the near side. Match official had me for a moment there. I didn't see the flag up, just out of my periphery to the right. Richmond wasn't reacting as though they got a penalty, but he was pointing in the direction of the spot. But that was also in the direction of the flag, so offside.
No, they gave the offside, but yeah. Matt Boehner obviously didn't know that. He still had to recover. He worked so hard to get back, and it's actually a fantastic tackle to recover.
Battling there with Gonzalez. 44th minute now, FC Cincinnati on top, 1-0. Bone to Walker, back to Nicholson.
both teams right now. Obviously getting towards the end of the half. It's a mental battle with themselves right now to stay focused, stay organised, and obviously in possession look to be smart in what you're going to do with it.
Hildebrand forward onto the foot of Nicholson. Right to Walker. Back to Nico and onto the left, Hoyt. It'll be 1 minute of stoppage time, so we're looking about 2 minutes remaining here in the half. Can FC Cincinnati get on the positive side of another offensive opportunity? Certainly have created here in the first half. GB's been a big part of them.
I know he's constantly involved in everything going forward and has been a big presence for the team.
Lost the ball there momentarily. He was right on the cut of that shade, and you saw as he looked up, he put his hand up trying to find it. It sailed over him. He recovered for a moment, and now Richmond will race the other way. Gonzalez has Janae in the middle. Nicholson came over with a great tackle to break it up.
It's a fantastic tackle. Obviously reading the play firstly, but then once you're there, you got to be able to make a tackle, and he took the player on the ball.
McCann will bring it back. Richmond will try to work it out of the midfield. Janae comes back to collect for the Kickers. Janae battling with Corbin Bone will be called for a foul, went over his back.
Once again, though, Sonny Janae coming centrally. He's looking to try and make something happen. You know, he's very talented on the ball, looks to have a nice little yard of speed about him. So whenever he comes inside, certainly got to be aware if you have to Cincinnati.
Justin Hoyt. Now Walker in the midfield. Back to Hildebrand. FC Cincinnati's not going to force something here, make a mistake, set it up for Richmond, but certainly would like to see if they can get it back to the attacking third one more time.
Yeah, no, it's managing time, managing the half. They recognize they have the lead.
Hildebrand sails it over the head of Boehner. Wiedemann trying to get over to it, cannot. Throw in will come for Richmond. Braden Troyer, the native of South Carolina, will throw it back in. If he's even given the opportunity, he is not. John Freeman will sound his whistle, and the first half of action is in the books. Here in Cincinnati, a 1-0 advantage thanks to a goal in the 3rd minute by that guy. GB, his 9th in USL play. Our sideline reports are brought to you by Volkswagen. Let's head downstairs and check in with Lindsey Patterson, who's alongside Alan Koch.
Coach, you're attacking offensively, getting on the board again early, but how do you keep with it in the next 45?
I think we've done a good job of taking care of the ball, obviously, and possessing it. I'd like to see us get behind their back line a little bit more. Obviously, a great early goal. But we need to capitalize on moments like that. Richmond are obviously sitting back and trying to condense the space, but we've got to figure out different ways to make sure we get behind them. On the flip side, when we lose it, we've got to be absolutely focused. One moment in a game like this can change everything. So we've got to make sure we maintain our concentration for the full 90 minutes.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. 45 minutes of soccer in the books here at Nippert Stadium. 45 more still to come your way. A great pass from Kenny Walker and a finish from GB makes it 1-0 in favor of the orange and blue. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Welcome back to halftime at Nippert Stadium between FC Cincinnati and the Richmond Kickers. One of the youngsters who come on as of late is midfielder Marco Dominguez, and today we sit down with number 21 in orange and blue. You started last year against FC Cincinnati when Montreal played here. What was your impression of the fans in the stadium?
Crazy. It was very handsome. I say, like, one day I want to play there because USL, they don't have a lot of fans. But when I play against Cincinnati, I say, wow, this is a good team, great team. For the fan, it's very beautiful. It's a good opportunity for me because I'm gonna show myself in American state. So I'm very happy to be here and show what I can do. I'm very happy to speak in Spanish, French. Like I can speak English too, but it's not my first language. So, but in Montreal it's French. When I was home, it's Spanish, so it's good. After I do the World Cup, so I learn a lot against good players. I think it was the first selection I do, so it's Canada who called me first, and I say yes. It was amazing because I play against Argentina, I play against good players, so now I'm in USA, so I know a lot good players too, so I learn a lot. My style is a little bit like, I like to control the game, take the tempo of the game. I'm very strong physically, and I like to do long ball, short ball, so I'm very good in the air too, so that's good.
What do you want FC Cincinnati fans to know about you?
I want they know I'm gonna play every time with my heart for them and for the club.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
When we return to the Queen City, we'll take a look around the USL, and still to come, highlights and stats from the first 45 minutes. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit USLD3.com.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The 2017 USL season already has been one for the record books, with major new names including Phoenix Rising FC's Didier Drogba and Omar Bravo, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Marcel Schaefer adding to the excitement as the league continues to raise the level on and off the field.
United Soccer League, Oklahoma City Energy taking on the Sacramento Republic FC. You make the top play, we will find you. Check out Miguel Gonzalez.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds versus Toronto FC. Victor Sudo drills the rocket upper right corner. This is the only goal in the game. Riverhounds win at 1-0.
San Antonio FC and the Tulsa Roughnecks. 4th-minute scoreless game. Chris Turpak in the box falls down. Doesn't prevent him from scoring.
This is from USL. FC Cincinnati made some news earlier in the week as they made it to the next round of the U.S. Open Cup. And how about this goal by Andrew Weidman? He does all the heavy lifting. Boom, boom, boom. Smack. Game ends 2-2 against Charleston Battery.
Rowdy's taking on the Richmond Kickers. Oh! Rowdy's cross, header blocked. DeShorn Brown. Look at DeShorn in great position, finishing with the scissor kick.
The thrilling action on the field has been seen by record levels of support in the stands. New facilities like those in Rio Grande Valley and Phoenix have welcomed fans to new, exciting eras for both clubs, while fervent support for clubs like the Richmond Kickers, Tampa Bay Rowdies, San Antonio FC, Louisville City FC, and Sacramento Republic FC has put the league on course for total attendance of more than 2 million this season, a historic high. Sacramento has been at the forefront of the rising competition too, with Republic FC's victory against Real Salt Lake sending the side into the round of 16 in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup for the first time. Ottawa Fury FC's arrival in the USL has been marked by a remarkable victory against Toronto FC in front of a passionate crowd at TD Place in the Canadian Championship, while the second highest crowd in Open Cup history, 32,287 fans, saw FC Cincinnati earn a thrilling penalty shootout victory against the Chicago Fire to advance to the quarterfinals. As the season reaches its halfway point, the USL has never been stronger.
Halftime at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati leading Richmond 1-0 in the second meeting this season between the two clubs. Tom Glitter back with Ryan Hanbury. Happy to be with you at the half. FC Cincinnati, we saw them before in the changing room at their team meeting about 90 minutes before. They were a loose team. They were a confident club coming off the loss on Thursday, and it showed very early on in this match as they built upon it.
No, they were relaxed, extremely confident, and obviously the last 12 games picked up a lot of positive results, so they came into this game with confidence. An early positive pass led to an early opportunity.
Tonight's first half highlights are delivered by PapaJohns.com. When FC scores twice, you get half-price pizzas online. Code FCPizza50, and FC Cincinnati didn't waste any time getting going with the offensive opportunities.
No, it was a fantastic ball over the top. It was obviously nice and positive from Kenny Walker, and he has that quality. And when GB's in on goal, obviously, he just wants to get his head over the ball and strike cleanly through it.
9th goal on the season for GB. Give the assist to Kenny Walker, and 3 minutes in, the orange and blue had the momentum, and the opportunities continued following the strike by the big man from Senegal, as FC Cincinnati just kept setting up opportunities.
Yeah, no, obviously that goal was given as an offside goal. Very, very close. It looked like it may have been offside, but obviously with Corbin Boehner lots of movement.
Then the wall deflection on the free kick, as FC Cincinnati was defensively strong throughout the first half. Richmond had a couple opportunities, didn't take advantage of them. FC Cincinnati the other way continued to create.
Once again, Nicholson with a very positive pass. Jimmy coming inside. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. Jimmy obviously would probably want to do a little bit better with the opportunity, but certainly positive things.
Then the GB ball, nearly his second goal of the match. He caught the crossbar and it didn't go in off the deflection. It was called for a foul as well. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. The shots, even shots on target, however, 3 for FC Cincinnati. Ryan, not at all surprised to see the possession there in favor of the orange and blue.
No, obviously coming into this game, FC knew that the possession was going to be in their favor. They've managed to keep the ball really well and waited for good times to go forward.
All right, FC Cincinnati making their way out of the change room. That means Lindsay Patterson has as well. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Lindsay.
Yeah, guys, the half message, it was pretty short and sweet in the changing room out there, but Alan Koch did preach to his guys. It can change in just a moment if they don't take care of the ball. It can be scary for some of the players. The tempo is important, little moments and details coming up in the second half. The upcoming schedule is brought to you by Audi Cincinnati East, bringing you the ultimate Audi experience on Beachmont Avenue. July 15th, they're on the road again against rival Louisville City before returning home for a handful of matches, beginning with Harrisburg on July 22nd. A few days later, some Monday Night Football, an international friendly versus Valencia July 24th, right here in Nippert, and with Rochester home on July 29th.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Of course, all of Lindsay's sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's get set for the second half. 45 more minutes coming your way. FC Cincinnati and their whites today, a whiteout for a special Sunday night edition of FC Cincinnati Soccer. And you see the guys huddling up out of the locker room and looking to build upon this 1-0 advantage. Neither of these teams in the series has ever scored more than one goal against the other team. Neither team has ever won the matchup between these two clubs. And FC Cincinnati trying to pick up 3 points. Right now, 8th in the Eastern Conference with 21 points. Richmond, they are dead last in the East, just 12 points. They are -9 in the goal differential, and they have not won a match since April 22nd against Pittsburgh. They've gone 0-6-6 across that stretch. So right now, if you know you have a team, Ryan, that hasn't won since April 22nd, you're up a goal, you're at home, you have a crowd, probably about 20,000 here cheering you on. Got to come out and get some more momentum and build upon that lead, right?
You have to be positive. There's a lot of young players in the team that haven't played as many minutes for this Richmond team. They've given opportunities to those players. It's important now that they come out here with a lot of energy, continue to build upon what they did in the first half, which was be solid, but now take a few more risks going forward.
Clubs switch ends of the pitch. FC Cincinnati will work away from the Bailey here in the second half, left to right as Wiedemann pushes it out wide to his good friend Jimmy Mclaughlin. Right-footed shot from Mclaughlin, bounces in to Matt Turner, who dives to his left to make his third save.
And Matt's been busy, obviously, in the first half. He's made a good save to start this one.
Entire pitch now in the shade as Richmond gets it out into the midfield. Justin Hoyt looking to control and goes on to the left. Tyler Pollock.
Looks like early, though, Richmond staying behind the ball, doing what they did in the first half.
Kickers made an adjustment early after that goal in the 3rd minute by GB and have sat back for the most part, making it more difficult for FC Cincinnati to set up offensively. But we certainly saw, as you took a look at the halftime highlights, the chances were there to push this advantage to multiple goals. Just didn't get quite the finish they hoped for. There was an offside flag in there. The crossbar got in the way, which is never very nice of the crossbar.
No, it's never nice when it gets in the way, but the opportunities are coming, Tommy, and as I say, it's important for these guys to continue to be positive, look to take those opportunities moving forward.
Pollock is knocked down. Cincinnati will set to put it back into play. Do it quickly with Mclaughlin. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by the Montgomery Inn. Boehner will work it into the midfield. Paul Nicholson. Forward to the foot of Bone. Now Wiedemann working up the right side. Boehner with a great touch forward. Kenny Walker will track it down along the touchline. Now Walker across the middle. GB nearly picked it up. Matt Turner was ready to play it, and Connor Shinosky decided to instead almost turn into a dangerous situation.
GB staying active in the box, obviously causing problems for those defenders, but another ball in the box, another problem.
Boehner and Walker knocking it back and forth, and Nicholson will call it in the middle of the three center backs of the 3-4-3 formation for Alan Koch.
Yeah, and since changing to this formation, you've seen how much more comfortable the team is in possession of the ball. They've just got to continue to stay patient, understand that they want to get that second goal, but right now the space.
Nicholson got it forward to Tyler Pollock. Flag came up near touchline, offside. Here's the call. It's been a problem a few times here tonight for the orange and blue.
As I was about to say, the space is not there right now. Richmond are staying deep. They understand there's plenty of time left to be played in this game. FC Cincinnati needs to stay patient in possession and wait for that right opportunity.
Last season, Richmond with a very late goal in the match here at Nippert between these two clubs to draw it even at 1-1. It was a match that FC Cincinnati felt they really earned the 3 points and felt it slip away right at the end. Teyu trying to get it into Durkin, deflected around, and then Bone able to clear it away.
And Bone's been everywhere so far, all first half and start the second half, covering lots of space, putting a lot of pressure under their midfielders.
Shinosky working up the middle. Feeds it forward, now over to the left. Troyer. Gonzalez. Pressure from Kenny Walker. He has no choice but to retreat. Austin Berry picks it up and feeds it forward for GB. Flag went up. That one was awfully close. I think GB had a step on the 3 red jerseys back there as the flag went up right in front of Richmond's bench. But boy, was he maybe just a step away from holding up and going one on the goalkeeper.
It was very close, and GB's going to continue to threaten in behind. It's going to continue to provide space in midfield for the guys to play. So though he's being offside a couple of times right now, that is going to force that defense back and give space in midfield.
Richmond quickly to the attacking third. Gonzalez on the right. He's been active tonight. To the right side, Durkin gets a shot off. Mitch Hildebrand will dive to his left. Slow it down right in front of the Bailey. And now let everybody push forward. Of course, Mitch's epic performance in penalty kicks against Chicago came at that end of the field. Couldn't imagine it any better. A year and a half into the existence of this franchise. A season and a half at least. Almost 2 years now, but a season and a half in. You knew if there was ever going to be a PK situation here at Nippert Stadium, it had to be to our left, right in front of the Bailey, with a raucous crowd on hand.
No, the Bailey is obviously a big support for this organization. They support the team every single game, nice and loud, nice and supportive. So for Mitch to do that in front of them, obviously it paid back them, and obviously Mitch has obviously been a consistent present for us, nice and positive in all he does.
Wiedemann fouled about 40 yards out. Kenny Walker and Tyler Pollock are there. It looks like Tyler Pollock will be the one to put it back into play with his left foot. Chance maybe to set something up here.
Tyler has a lot of quality from these positions.
Justin Hoyt will look to use his height as he is up forward inside of the 18. Pollock looking far post. Barry heads it into the middle. Mclaughlin trying to get to it. Kenny Walker finds it on his foot. Onto the right, Wiedemann. Wiedemann with a right foot. A big save by Turner, and then right at the line, he dives on it. Evan Lee was there, GB as well. And Matt Turner comes up with maybe his best save of the night.
No, it's a good save by Matt Turner. Andrew Wiedemann striking through the back of the ball. Great strike.
Lee will send it in the middle to Shinosky. Richmond will try to get out of their defensive third and set something up offensively, trailing by a goal. Right side, Eaton making his first appearance of the season. Gives it in the middle, Teyu. Teyu with a left-footed shot, and it goes wide. Let's go back to that play about a minute ago. And the great opportunity, the big-time save by Turner.
Yeah, Kenny with a little ball over the top. Great straight by Wiedemann. But Matt Turner got his body behind the ball, went through his hands initially, but was able to get onto it early.
Turner 4 saves tonight. He comes into this match with a 1.23 goals against average, saving 69% of the shots taken on him. Just 2 clean sheets this season. He's actually on loan to the club from New England Revolution. Wiedemann battling amongst a host of red jerseys, unable to come away with it. Now FC Cincinnati goes back into Open Cup play on Wednesday when they travel to Miami. It'll be the first time in the Open Cup that they haven't played here at Nippert Stadium. In the quarterfinals, they'll take on Miami FC, who's the spring champion of the NASL, the other Division II league in the United States. Right side, Troyer making a run. Sends it into the middle, broken up by Barry. But as FC Cincinnati gets set for that match, if they win, they'll either take on New England Revolution or New York Red Bulls. Those 2 clubs will play, I believe, on Thursday, and then the winners will meet at a site to be determined, on a date to be determined.
And Tommy, as you continue to build through this US Open Cup, and there's lots of positives with it, these players will be continuing to inspire, and the fans of FC Cincinnati will travel with this team wherever they go. There's a lot of support wherever they've gone, and this team, as they continue to build, will take the positives from that.
I've seen this week already on Twitter a handful of fans who have pronounced their plans to get to Miami on Wednesday night. Both are trying to get to South Beach or trying to see another FC Cincinnati match, or a little bit of both. Did have a few questions, wondering if I was going to be out there on South Beach with them.
I think a lot of us would like to be down at South Beach, but
there's no doubt.
It's going to be a great game. I'm sure the team's going to be up for it, but as you say, right now this game's in their minds most important.
Corbin Bone tried to feed it forward to GB, broken up by Richmond. Alan Koch has made it very clear all along, whether it's Open Cup or USL, there's a task at hand each night. That's the focus, and then they move on to the next one. He's certainly been aware of the hectic schedule, as we mentioned, 12 matches in 50 days earlier on, and now it slows down a little bit in the pace if FC Cincinnati continues. The matches, the semifinals, and then the championship are spaced out a little bit. The semifinals wouldn't be till August 8th or 9th. And then I believe I was looking at the calendar earlier that the Cup final is September 20th. So fits a little bit more into the schedule, as you're not playing quite as often as we've seen over the last 6 weeks for this club.
Continues to make things competitive for the players, though. Lots of games, lots of competition, a lot of rotation. These guys are fighting for positions, and it's only going to make the team better.
Tyler Pollock's going to be called for a foul in the midfield. Just came in a bit strong on Raul Gonzalez. Teyu will pick it up on his foot and have it knocked away by Kenny Walker. Wiedemann's going to switch it over to the left. Mclaughlin. Mclaughlin sends it inside the 18. He found GB, who couldn't get a clean look on it. Headed back by Gonzalez.
GB getting into a good position. Just wasn't expecting that to be their first defender.
Walker will knock it back to Bone. Boehner with some space on the right side if FC Cincinnati wants to come over that direction. Right now holding out on the left with Hoyt. 56th minute, 1-0 in favor of the home club. An early goal by GB in the 3rd minute, his 9th in league play, gives FC Cincinnati the advantage. Looking for a little more here. Pollock, 25 yards out, taps it back for Walker, then gets it right back. Tyler Pollock, top of the 18. On to Bone, over to GB. GB trying to tap it into the middle. Boehner can't quite get there. Matt Turner comes up off his line and gobbles it up.
Well, we see Tyler and Matt Boehner there, both of them in advanced positions, both of them in the attacking third. I'm sure Alan's going to be excited to see that.
2 of them earning their miles up and down their respective sides of the pitch tonight.
Not easy position to play.
Gonzalez with a shot deflected away by Hoyt. If you're just joining us and wondering why you do not see Harrison Delbridge, he pulled his groin last week in the match at Orlando City, did not play on Thursday at Tampa Bay, and is out for the 2nd consecutive match tonight. The hope is that he might be available for Miami on Wednesday. Certainly don't want to push it and lose him long term, but this is the third match that Harrison has not played this season. He had one that was scheduled rest at Rochester in the beginning of June, but otherwise hasn't missed many minutes this season.
Harrison's an important player for FC Cincinnati. He's a presence, he brings a confidence, a calm to the way they defend.
Mclaughlin outside the 18 off a deflection from GB. Mclaughlin with a left-footed shot, and it sails just high.
The nutmeg was beautiful though. The way he was able to create space for himself and get him into an area.
Nifty footwork by Jimmy Mclaughlin off the pass from Wiedemann to set it up, deflected off of GB.
Yeah, just recognizing where the space is, where he wanted to get to, manipulated the ball with the nutmeg. It was a great little bit of skill. Just unlucky to get that ball over the ball.
Turner sending it out across midfield. Hoyt starting for Delbridge tonight, heads it down. Boehner working in the middle, back to Hoyt. And Hoyt's going to have to play it back to his goalkeeper, Mitch Hildebrand.
No, and a bit of higher pressure there from Richmond, causing a turnover in the defensive half now for FC Cincinnati. So FC will need to regroup. Richmond now obviously looking to get on the attack.
Braden Troyer knocking it back onto the foot of Roberts. Haven't yet seen either manager go to their bench. Of course, 3 subs available for each club. We are in the 59th minute. And imagine Alan Koch will start to look down to his left where his subs are warming up in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so and see who he might feel is available or needs to come in.
Yeah, you do recognize the 60th minute in a lot of games is when managers really do start thinking about freshening up players, getting players into the game. So it'll be intriguing to see what both managers look to do.
Thought Josu gave him some good quality on Thursday night at Tampa Bay. He's somebody who's involved in the 18 tonight, certainly available. Danny Koenig, a spark. Second leading scorer this season with 4 goals. He's available. Jimmy knocking it forward for GB, but GB's been fantastic, I think, tonight. So don't necessarily need to get him out, but could at some point. Kadeem Daker's another guy who created some trouble early on for Tampa Bay in the first half of that match. Available
It'll be interesting
tonight
to see which manager makes the first move. You know, Richmond right now, we're going to have to do something about this current result. And when will they start to make that change and see what Alan does to obviously counter that?
Right now, this match a little bit eerily similar to the one last year here at Nippert, where Richmond just sat back, and then decided to attack the last 5 minutes and found the equalizer.
And FC needs to be conscious of that. That second goal is going to be really important in this game.
Corbin Bone into the middle. Hildebrand will send it right back out.
Great composure to play out from the back, though.
Boehner with his right foot pushes it up to GB, back to Walker. Those two connected on the early goal for FC Cincinnati. 2/3 of the way through the match as Jimmy Mclaughlin races up the middle. Mclaughlin off to GB, who tried to turn it back to Walker, but misfired and ended up with Gonzalez.
And Jimmy being positive off the dribble. When he starts dribbling, he's a real threat. Picked it up in the middle there, drove forward, played into GB, and obviously GB just disconnecting with the pass.
Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers.
No numbers forward there, so good decision to keep the ball.
Boehner with some space up the right. He'll service it across. GB tried to get to the header. Matt Turner found it first. Lee Cowlishaw has decided on his first substitution of the night. That'll be Fred Owusu Sekiri, the midfielder out of Ghana. He has 16 appearances, 12 starts this year, a pair of goals. No doubt an offensive substitution for Kalashaw.
No, he started last game and actually was a big presence in the middle of the midfield for them, so certainly a player that can make a difference to a team.
Bit surprising not to see him in the starting lineup tonight. Richmond has not played since last Saturday, so 8 days off as opposed to FC Cincinnati, who played Saturday on the road and then again on Thursday. Mclaughlin with another great ball, gets inside of the 18. Jimmy chips it towards Matt Turner, and Turner with another big save, this time using his feet.
It's a fantastic save by Matt Turner. It really is. A deflected shot, and was able to change his body. Fantastic save.
Boehner intercepts the pass, and FC Cincinnati will keep the pressure on. Bone up the middle. Right-footed shot goes just wide. Turner diving to his left, didn't touch it. Goal kick coming after the substitution for Richmond. Let's take a look at the opportunity here.
Obviously, this was the one just after with Corbin Burns shooting from distance. It's a great strike by Corbin, and we know he can score from there.
Owusu Sakiri comes on. Paddy McCann, the midfielder from Long Island, will take a seat. Our first substitution tonight. The attendance was just announced, 21,769. So another great crowd here at Nippert Stadium. No surprise about that. You couldn't ask for a more perfect summer night to come out and watch the lads.
It's a great night, but the fans all season, lots of support, fantastic support for this team.
Mentioned it earlier, 5 home matches in June, 125,000 fans, 124,761. If you want to be exact, I think it's fair to call that 125,000.
I would round up there.
Durkin to the middle. Sakiri. Now GB looking to feed it forward for Mclaughlin. He has Wiedemann outright. Mclaughlin was trying to go forward. Evan Lee was able to take it away. Mclaughlin was looking for a foul call.
Now, Evan defended well there. Jimmy's being positive, though. He recognizing that there's an opportunity for him to get forward and to be a threat going forward.
Sakiri feeds it onto the left. Janae came away with it, and then FC Cincinnati does well defensively.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you got to clear the ball, and Nico obviously read the ball well. Cleared the ball. Nothing wrong with that.
65th minute now. Richmond working in the midfield, trailing by a goal. Roberts pushing it to his right, Shanoski. Back to the left, Roberts. Kenny Walker and Austin Berry. Boehner into the middle. The header came off the face of GB. Ball maybe a little bit lower than he expected as he left his feet.
Caught him a little awkward. Obviously didn't know whether to head it down or bring it down with his chest. Kind of got caught in between. Catched him on the face.
Sliding tackle by Paul Nicholson and a beauty.
Great tackle. Great tackle. It sets the tone, lifts the crowd. It's massively important that you do that, and Nico's put a couple in now.
The enthusiasm building in the Bailey as we head towards these final 25 minutes.
They're getting behind the team. They want to see success, of course. Always energy coming from that area of the stadium.
Bone forward for Wiedemann. 2 red jerseys flanking him as he sends it out to Pollock. Now Mclaughlin trying to chip it back to Wiedemann. Didn't quite get there. Corbin Bone will intercept the pass the other way. Bone in the middle. Mclaughlin, his shot deflected by Connor Shanoski. Wiedemann forward for Hoyt. It was actually Mclaughlin who gave it to him, and then as the service came from Justin Hoyt, nobody home.
No, but to see Justin in those positions, it's a positive sign. Looking for that second goal, recognizing his opportunities to get forward. Tyler just slid back for him. Justin's more than capable of getting forward and affecting the game.
Fresh legs coming on up top for Alan Koch in the 67th minute. GB coming out. Danny Koenig coming in. Certainly good when you can bring out a guy who has 9 USL goals and replace him with another and a dynamic striker in Danny Koenig.
No, they're very similar players. 2 goal scorers, both want to get in the box and affect the game in a positive way.
I've seen that hug many times, one way or the other. It's either Koenig coming out since they've both been back, Koenig joining the club during GB's suspension, and it's GB coming out or Koenig going in or vice versa.
Well, they play a similar role. They're both the number 9 for the team, both the goal scorers. Now, hopefully, Danny can come in.
Mclaughlin turning on the shot off the header from Koenig. Koenig came on, 2 weeks ago in the St. Louis match and got the 2nd goal on his first touch of the night.
He's a goal scorer. He likes to score goals, likes to put himself in position to score goals, and he has a lot of players with quality around him, so I'm sure he'll be looking to do the same here this evening.
Nico heads it down in the midfield. Bounces in the direction of Janae, and he'll have Corbin Bone trying to take it in. Sliding in comes Kenny Walker, and then Janae, a little bit of frustration, shoving Kenny Walker afterwards to be called for the foul. Haven't been many fouls. It's been a very fluid match here through the first 68 minutes.
No, it's been very fluid. Both teams sitting obviously deeper when they're defending, but both midfielders working hard. I think Kenny and Corbin have done a fantastic job in there protecting that back line. Obviously coming into this, we spoke about Harrison not being there. Well, they've looked organised, and the 2 midfielders have certainly helped that.
Lee Kalishaw getting set to make his final 2 substitutions when the opportunity presents itself. See Anthony Grant, forward out of Jamaica, come on, and Yudai Imora out of Tokyo, Japan, making an appearance. Pollock unable to win it in the midfield, ends up on the foot of Sakiri. Right side Gonzalez getting past Pollock. Pollock will be called for a foul, and now the substitutions will come on. Coming out will be Evan Lee defensively, and Teyu, the forward. So Evan Lee, there's the big beard I was talking about, and the long hair earlier on in the broadcast. Played with FC Cincinnati last year in a support role, mostly coming off of the bench for the club.
No, and as you say, we've got a forward and a midfielder coming on, so it'll be intriguing to see now if there's a tactical change by Richmond.
Talked about at some point Lee Kalishaw is going to have to go for it. Well, it might be here in the 70th minute as he brings on the 2 subs. Anthony Grant being the 2nd of those subs. Grant making his 13th appearance on the year. Started 4 matches, has not yet scored. For Imora, this is his 11th appearance. He started 9 games this year.
And I think it says a lot about how the game's gone. Taking off the big target that we spoke about was going to be a big part of the way in which they played. The way with the defender to FC Cincinnati really shut him down, so they're looking to change a few things up. FC Cincinnati will have to be cautious.
Imora gets a touch right away, unable to do anything with it, gets out into the midfield, and Danny Koenig can't push it forward. Troyer into the middle. Durkin forward off the head of Hoyt. Tyler Pollock sends it out for a touchline. Throw in coming for Richmond.
So they have gone to the 4-2-3-1, something they're very comfortable in, something they've played most of their games in. So let's see how Cincinnati adjusts to this change in formation.
Owusu Sakiri into the middle. Gonzalez out wide for Troyer. Troyer with the right foot has it deflected away by Matt Boehner. Able to recover it though in the midfield. Troyer off his shoulder. Leaves it for Gonzalez. Kenny Walker comes in strong, trying to take it from Gonzalez, who's able to keep it alive. Now gets around Corbin Bone. Gonzalez into the middle. A great run, then taken down at the top of the 18 by Paul Nicholson. And a golden opportunity coming here for Richmond. And it looks like Paul Nicholson will be going into the books once John Freeman checks on Gonzalez.
Now Gonzalez picked the ball up and obviously was very, very positive with it.
So a yellow card for Paul Nicholson. That is his first of the year. And the way Nico comes in to his leg made the call easy for John Freeman.
It looked like Nico was pulling out of the tackle. Gonzalez was going across. There was a little bit of contact. Obviously, the speed at which it happened meant that he went down. It's free kick in a dangerous position for Richmond.
Gonzalez limping as Richmond sets things up. Imora standing over it, as well as Owusu Sakiri. And it looks like it'll be Imora who takes it. The native of Tokyo. FC Cincinnati has the wall set. Yudai Imora looking to equalize things in the 73rd minute. Jostling going on along the FC Cincinnati wall. Kenny Walker not giving Owusu Sakiri much room. So he's trying to squeeze in. Ball is struck. Wall knocks it down. Again, over to the left. Gonzalez trying to play it to his right foot. Deflected away by FC Cincinnati. Corner kick coming for Richmond, but good defense there by the men in white.
You have to stay strong in the wall. You have to be nice and big. They were in the wall. And the way they responded to the second ball as well, getting lots of bodies around the ball. Kenny making a big tackle to get the ball out for a corner.
Gonzalez will come over to take it to our left, near side of the pitch. All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Gonzalez with his right foot sends it across. Barry heads it right back in the direction of Gonzalez, who will watch it bounce out on the near touchline. Throw in for the Kickers. Richmond bringing pressure inside of their attacking third. Down by a goal. Paul Nicholson and Connor Szymanski tied up a little bit there inside of the 6-yard box, and John Freeman will go over and settle things down. Throw in comes off the head of Kenny Walker, and he'll send in the direction of Wiedemann. Wiedemann was trying to get it across the middle and clear it, misplayed it. Then a right-footed shot from Eaton, and Mitch Hildebrand has to dive to his left. It skips just by Mitch. Nearly an own goal in a scary situation for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, the ball came out, and they haven't had too many shots, but they take a chance from distance. The deflection nearly makes it very awkward for Mitch.
So another corner kick brought to you by the Levy Law Offices, this time from the far side. Service across the middle, headed away by Barry. Eaton will get his right foot on it, bouncing in the direction of Hildebrand. And he covers it, makes sure it skips over the crossbar, but it touched his teammates last. And another corner kick for Richmond. Third in a matter of 2 minutes.
It's important FC stay composed right now.
Some tense moments here at Nippert. Janet across the middle, just outside the 6-yard area. Cleared away by Wiedemann. Richmond trying to keep it alive. Wiedemann does well to keep it in play. Danny Koenig coming back to pick it up and wrapped his arm there a little bit. Will be called for a foul.
Yeah, it looked like a foul. Obviously the fans not too happy with the decision, but a lot of pressure coming from Richmond right now. It's important they look after it. As you say, I mean, he went down very easy. Yeah, he went down very easy. Put a body on him. Referee, from the angle he had, believed obviously it was a foul.
May have sold it a little bit. In the meantime, Tyler Pollock has gone down grabbing his right leg. Looks like his thigh area as he's massaging it. And they've called Aaron Powell, the athletic trainer for FC Cincinnati, out onto the pitch. If Tyler couldn't continue, or they felt like maybe he wasn't fit to continue, this would be a situation where Alan Koch has Josu to go to, and Josu is moving quickly just to be ready down to our left.
Yeah, it's a natural replacement in the same position. They've both been rotating in and out of that position and both doing a good job. We spoke about the amount of games, the amount of travel that these teams are doing, especially over the last 12 games. It's been constant for these guys, so any little niggling injuries have got to be cared for properly. it's nice to have a replacement to come in and do the job in the Pacific.
FC Cincinnati spent the entire trip. They played Orlando City and then Tampa Bay back-to-back Saturday, Thursday. So they spent the entire week down in Florida, flew back on Friday, and then they'll train tomorrow. Remember, this is a Sunday game, a little bit different for the club. They'll train tomorrow and then fly right back down to Florida, to Miami, a little bit further south, take on Miami FC back in the Open Cup. So Tyler Polak has to leave the pitch for the moment while Richmond sets up for a free kick from about 45 yards away. 78th minute now, 1-0 FC Cincinnati. Janae will send it forward. Headed away by FC Cincinnati, but it ends up onto the foot of Imora. Boehner trying to poke it away. Boehner is going to cut down Chris Durkin. Dangerous spot for a free kick coming, and Boehner's going to earn his way into the book. Second yellow card on FC Cincinnati in the last 6 minutes.
And we spoke about the pressure that they've been under right now. It's been constant for the last couple of minutes. Got to stay composed, got to stay patient right now, defend the situation. Austin's won a couple of headers. It's important that they stay focused on what the job is and find a release once they win the ball.
Third yellow card on the season for Boehner. Of course, 5 is the number at which you earn a one-match USL suspension. 2 FC Cincinnati players, Kenny Walker and Aiden Quinn, sitting on 4 right now. Gonzalez in the meantime looking for an equalizer. Will service it inside of the 18. Headed back away by Boehner, then Polak will come over to clear it. Gets it up to Jimmy Mclaughlin, who has some space, misplays it just a hair, and then Imora misplays it. Troyer has to come over as Mclaughlin was there. And if Troyer doesn't make a play, Mclaughlin is off to the races with the ball on his foot.
Yeah, panic on both sides right there. Both teams losing a bit of composure, and nearly led to an opportunity for Jimmy.
Boehner back onto the chest of Wiedemann.
And now you see a slightly higher press from Richmond. The time's ticking down. They recognize they need to do something a bit more, get a bit more midfield pressure.
Nico plays it forward for Koenig. Got it off his chest. And then cleared out far touchline by Matt Turner, who's been plenty active tonight, throwing inside of the attacking third for FC Cincinnati. And one of the Richmond players is down, so that'll give everybody a chance to catch their breath momentarily. Remember, Richmond is out of substitutes, so they don't have an option if somebody cramps up here and has to leave the match. FC Cincinnati fans make a life-saving blood donation at Hawksworth Blood Center July 31st through August 5th and receive your exclusive Hawksworth Blood Orange FC Cincinnati t-shirt. Visit hawksworth.org/FCC to schedule.
And with the change of pressure now, with Richmond looking to step a little higher, that is going to create opportunities for FC Cincinnati going forward with a bit more space available.
Throwing right onto the foot of Koenig, but he played it a bit too strong off to the right. And it rolls out along the end line. A goal kick coming from Matt Turner, who will show that sense of urgency in putting it back into play. Turner across midfield. Onto the foot of Janae. And now Durkin. Tyler Polak throwing it in from the far side off the chest of Wiedemann. Kenny Walker. And now over to the right, Matt Boehner. Austin Barry in the midfield. Going to play it forward. Jimmy Mclaughlin. Great ball from Barry. Mclaughlin with a right-footed shot. And Matt Turner comes up with another save. Mclaughlin, boy, has he been active tonight, creating opportunities all over the place.
He's been creating and creating. He's got himself into some fantastic situations. He's looking at an angle where he's had a lot of success bending that ball into the far post. Just didn't catch it right. Keeper made a great save.
Janae, in the meantime, brings Richmond back to the attacking third. Sonny Janae. Imora. Back to Janae, who is taken down at the corner of the 18. John Freeman, did he call the foul?
No, don't look like it.
He did not. It'll be a throw in for Richmond. He was looking in the direction, kind of wagging his finger. Would have been a dangerous spot there.
I think he was thinking about action against Sonny. Obviously, there is no contact.
Mclaughlin gets a bounce. 2-on-2 the other way. Wiedemann trailing will make it 3-on-2. Mclaughlin will feed it to trailing Wiedemann. And a great defensive play. Braden Troyer trailing to break it up.
They worked hard to get behind the board, and now the counter's on.
Janae the other way, right to left. Tries to get a shot off. Austin Berry did a fantastic job at eliminating the angle, and Sonny Janae had nothing to do but send it over the frame.
Now, Sonny obviously forcing a situation from, forcing a shot from that situation, but going down the other end with Jimmy, you know, being nice and positive. Got to continue to stay confident, continue to shoot, continue to recognize that situations are going to come.
Just saw Eden Quinn going over some notes with Johan Dumais, the assistant to Alan Koch. So he has his jersey top on and will be the second substitution here tonight for FC Cincinnati. Boehner plays it off his head in the midfield. 84th minute. 1-0 FC Cincinnati thanks to a goal 81 minutes ago. It was the 3rd minute. GB got his 9th in league play, and that is the difference maker thus far. But Richmond trying to bring the pressure, find a way to tie it up at 1-1, which has been the story between these two clubs historically. Wiedemann will come out. Eden Quinn in. That might change the shape a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they move Corbin a little wider.
Maybe a 3-5-2, which when they changed the shape, that's what they went to initially. Indicating to be more of a defensive substitute, certainly at this point. Bringing on some fresh legs for Wiedemann.
So they have gone to free centrally.
Koenig with 2 bodies on him, can't win the header. And then FC Cincinnati will win the ball right in front of their own bench. A throw-in coming from Matt Boehner.
And Kenny Corbin have continued to break up play all game, continuing to find little spaces to break up, make a tackle, get a little touch on the ball. It's really disrupted Richmond going forward.
Danny Koenig tried to play it forward to himself along the right side. Didn't quite get there in time. Richmond quick to throw it back in and turn it in the midfield. Now Eaton unable to win it back from Tyler Pollock. Paul Nicholson played it back to Hildebrand, who sends it out. A misplayed ball and a throw-in just outside the attacking third coming for Richmond. Justin Hoyt, who's doing a nice job filling in for Harrison Delbridge tonight, out with a groin injury. On to Mclaughlin, nearly caught the hand of Corbin Bone. Some room on the left for Richmond to work.
FC need to continue to move, continue to stay focused. A lot of games, a lot of running done by each player on the field, so they've got to continue to stay focused, communicate, stay organized.
There have been some incredible opportunities for the Orange and Blue to make this 2-0. They haven't been able to finish. Matt Turner's been part of the reason why. Hoyt is fouled by Sonny Janae. There'll be a free kick at the top of the 18. Hoyt's a little slow to his feet. Grabbing his right leg, and looks like his lower leg. Mitch Hildebrand, unlike Matt Turner, won't show a sense of urgency in putting the ball back into play.
No, it's important FC manage this game. We have 5 minutes left, plus obviously any additional time, so it's important that FC recognize where they are in the game. It is 1-0, they would like that second, but it's important that they don't concede and be sloppy.
Hildebrand looking for his target, Koenig. Headed away by Richmond, throw-in for Boehner on the near touchline. Boehner sends it to Koenig. Back to Boehner. Boehner able to keep it alive. Can he find Jimmy Mclaughlin? No. Knocked away by Richmond and FC Cincinnati with the change in formation, not pushing a lot of white jerseys forward. Nobody else was there to provide offensive support.
Yeah, no, they've gone to a 5-3-2, so obviously now it's the two targets. They're going to be relying on Jimmy and Danny to be able to create.
Braden Troyer gets it into the middle. Security. Hayden Quinn was in tight, and a red card is shown on the elbow.
No, it's frustration. It's frustration. He clearly swings out after the play.
Hayden Quinn is cut down in the 88th minute. A completely unnecessary play by substitute Fred Owusu Security, who is sent off.
The ball gets away, it's 50-50, and he just swings. You can't have your arm high like that, swinging like that. You can use your arm to get across, protect the ball, but that was a swing caught Aiden. Easy decision for the ref.
One more look at it. Yeah, smacks him in the face for no reason. So Owusu Security is sent off, and Richmond trailing by a goal now will play a man down for the final 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Danny Koenig, great opportunity the other way. Let's see what Danny can do with it. Inside the 18, Koenig tried to meg the keeper, did not, keeps it alive, looking to his left. And then, oh, and a handball is called in the box. Penalty kick coming for FC Cincinnati in the 89th minute. Who's going to step to the spot, looking for the insurance goal?
Yeah, so Danny had the initial shot, the ball rebounded.
Comes off of Braden Troyer.
Yeah, the recovering defenders obviously trying to help out his goalkeeper. Comes back.
Came off the hand of Troyer. Aiden Quinn will step to the spot, looking for his second goal on the season. 89th minute at Nippert Stadium. They are on their feet. Quinn with his left foot, and there it is, the insurance goal for FC Cincinnati.
And I love the fact Aiden stepped up to take that. Obviously against Chicago, he was one of the players that stepped up and missed. To step up with such confidence, wanting to do it, wanting to take it, it's massively important. Shows a lot of character. Solid contact on the ball, nice and confident, with the new hairstyle as well. It's great to see.
A lot of chatter in the team lounge before the match about the new style.
But it looks
Quinn,
like a retake.
Whoa. Well, don't put it on the board yet. Kenny Walker asking for an explanation. He is beside himself.
The referee has indicated a retake.
So a re-kick. The smoke is already off in the Bailey.
It took a while.
I don't know what the delay was. Aiden Quinn will set to take it again. Boy, is this a tough situation. Matt Turner standing on his line. Quinn trying again to make it 2-0. The California native steps up, and there it is, his second goal of the season. And again, FC Cincinnati on top 2-0.
I spoke about character, the importance of character, wanting to step up, having missed your last penalty, then to have to retake it, then to hit with such quality into the bottom corner. Says a lot about Aiden. Fantastic, fantastic penalty.
Alan Koch will use another substitution. Before play is resumed, Kadeem Dakers will check in for Jimmy Mclaughlin, who's done a great job tonight, as he has all season long. Chance of FCC, echo from the Bailey, with the orange and blue on top, 2-0. First time either team in this series has scored more than once in a match. And FC Cincinnati on the cusp now of 3 big points in league play.
Jimmy's put in a shift. He's created plenty of opportunities. I'm sure he would have liked to have scored a goal today, but what he did to the defense was force them back. Created a lot of opportunities. Now it's important, obviously, in the next couple of minutes, FC Cincinnati stay focused.
So Troyer gets called for the handball, unintentional, in the box. Richmond down a man and now down 2 goals, as the last 3 minutes have been disastrous for the Kickers. First, Owusu Sekiri is sent off with the red card for smacking Aiden Quinn in the face. And then Aiden Quinn has to take the penalty kick twice.
Yep.
He scores both times, and like you said, after missing the penalty kick, didn't get saved. He sent it up into the Bailey on the first penalty kick against Chicago Fire, showing the confidence there. He went up and grabbed the ball. Danny Koenig was there as well, and Danny let him take it. Here's a chance for Kadeem Dakers. Dakers trying to get into the middle. He was the only one forward with Koenig, and 2 red jerseys were there to deflect it away. We are now in stoppage time, 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're already 2 minutes in. I think we'll go a little bit past that with the double PK situation.
No, and at this stage of the game right now, with the score being what it is, both teams obviously understanding, wanting to manage the situation, but FC Cincinnati seems to have control of this game.
The Bailey is ready to celebrate upon John Freeman's final whistle. Gonzalez trying to make something happen the other way. Sends it out to the right, Janae. Into the box, cleared away by Quinn. Right side, Durkin. Out to Gonzalez. And now played back. Shanoski has to play it all the way back to his goalkeeper, and that's less than an ideal situation. And the final whistle sounds here at Nippert Stadium, where they are dancing in the Bailey tonight. A 2-0 victory for Alan Koch and FC Cincinnati, with 3 big points in league play.
It's a big result for the team. Coming away, you know, traveling Thursday all the way back. Wanted to pick up a good result after a -1. Lots of positives from the game.
A dominant performance tonight for the orange and blue, who got a goal in the 3rd minute from GB, ends up being the game winner, and a goal in the 89th minute from Aiden Quinn on the penalty kick to make it 2-0, the 5th clean sheet in USL play for Mitch Hildebrand, who has been fantastic this season. Wasn't tested too much tonight, but enough to earn the clean sheet, and a solid job all around for FC Cincinnati. Tonight's moment of the match is driven by Toyota. Let's go places. And when FC Cincinnati needed an insurance goal, Aiden Quinn stepped up and was ready. Following the unintentional handball, he had to do it twice. That was the first look. We didn't get an explanation as to why it was waved off, but it was, so Aiden said, no worries. I'll do it again. I'll even go where you're diving and slot it inside of the post to the right. The 2nd goal on the year for Aiden Quinn, and FC Cincinnati wins 2-0. We'll step aside and take a break here at Nippert Stadium. Hear from Alan Koch when we return and wrap things up. Once again, your final score, FC Cincinnati 2, Richmond Kickers 0. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glenn and Ryan Hanbury back with you at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati victorious by a final score of 2-0. That means half-price pizzas tomorrow at papajohns.com. Use the code FCPizza50 and save half off your pizzas at papajohns.com. Lindsey Patterson is with victorious head coach Alan Koch. Let's head down to the pitch.
Coach, you talked about it at the half. There could be moments, some scary moments. We saw some of those late, but your guys stay focused. They get 3 at home. How do you carry this momentum as you head back into U.S. Open Cup play?
Well, you're right. Tonight was a scary game. Obviously, great to score very, very early, and we created all sorts of opportunities. But as we know, we've seen a lot of games this year. When you don't capitalize on your chances, you get yourself in precarious positions. And obviously, as the game went along, obviously they grew in confidence and started to throw balls in the box, and anything can happen at that time. But give our players a lot of credit tonight. What is that? 13 games in 53 days. I've never been through that before. I don't think anybody's been through that before. And to show the character we did, to grind it out at the end, and the composure that Aiden showed, to have to go step up and finish 2 penalty kicks back to back is awesome. So we'll enjoy these 3 points, of course. We're a little bit walking wounded right now after all these games, and hopefully our medical team can do some good work in the next few days and hopefully get as many guys ready for Wednesday as possible.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. We certainly appreciate the time from Alan Koch tonight. 8-2-3 over that stretch in 53 days for FC Cincinnati. Tonight's match highlights are presented by Toyota. For all the latest offers, visit buyatoyota.com. And Ryan, early on, FC Cincinnati got it going. Kenny Walker found the big striker.
It's a great way to start the game. Positive pass over the top. GB with a fantastic strike. He really set up the game for FC Cincinnati.
Walker picks up the assist. GB, his 9th in USL play, and the pressure was on from there as FC Cincinnati really controlled possession throughout this match.
Yes, this is the opportunity that was given offside, but I really, for me, showed the positives about FC. Getting forward, lots of numbers, creating opportunities.
Few times FC Cincinnati was tested defensively. They stood tall, certainly in that situation on the wall.
Yeah, being in a wall, got to be big, got to be strong. They did that there.
And then Richmond found ways to set things up, but at the other end, Andrew Wiedemann forcing Matt Turner to make a huge save in the second half.
No, it's a great strike, and I'm sure Matt's happy that fall to the other side of him. And Jimmy, obviously, with the nutmeg and the opportunity. Beautiful piece of skill. Got the other side of him. Kind of summed up Jimmy, though. Was able to create plenty of opportunities. Here's another one, and another great save.
Now, Matt Turner kept this match close. Certainly a big-time performance. Richmond had a couple chances when it was still 1-0, but again, every time they tried to sneak one by Mitch Hildebrand, either his defensive line or Mitch had him stood up. And then Aiden Quinn on his second try of the penalty kick, it counted 2-0, the final tally, thanks to the insurance goal from the midfielder and native of California. He stands by right now with Lindsey Patterson.
Yeah, guys, down here with Aiden Quinn. I'm going to go ahead and credit the new haircut. What about that?
Yeah, I think 100% goes to the hair. All the credit.
Yeah. No, you had to do not once, but twice on the penalty kick. What's going through your mind on the second one?
The second one, I was just thinking, put it in the corner, and hopefully this one goes in as well.
You guys have had some success in the last 50 days. Out of 13 matches, only falling twice. How do you build on this going forward when you head back into U.S. Open Cup play in just the second half of the season?
Yeah, we've done really well in the Open Cup. In the league, we need to get more points, so it was great to have 3 points tonight, and then we'll turn our focus now to Miami.
All right, I'll let you go enjoy this one with your team.
Thank you very much.
All right, solid performance coming off the bench by Aiden Quinn and getting his second goal on the season. You see Kenny Walker, Paul Nicholson signing some autographs. So let's take a look at tonight's man of the match, which is presented by You Pull and Pay. Find the parts you need fast and save at You Pull and Pay. Jimmy Mclaughlin flying up and down the field as he does normally and creating opportunities at both ends all night long.
He continued to create all evening. You know, he's so positive when he gets the ball. He causes defenders all sorts of problems. As a defender, you're constantly being backed up by what Jimmy can do. He created many opportunities for himself and for his teammates, and just continuing to build on what's been a good season for him so far.
So Mclaughlin, our man of the match tonight. He didn't find the back of the net, nearly did on a couple opportunities, but made his presence felt out on the pitch tonight. Save time every time when you use online check-in for a great haircut at Great Clips. It's going to be great, and it's time now for our Great Clips Great save. And for FC Cincinnati, Mitch wasn't tested often, but when he was ready.
No, obviously Mitch, high character guy, stays focused, knows what's expected of him. And in this situation, that deflection kind of just wrong foots him. They just get a little touch to just put it around the post, but stays focused all game.
So Mitch Hildebrand, his 5th clean sheet, and the fans file out of Nippert Stadium with a smile on their face. Once again, our final score from Nippert Stadium, FC Cincinnati 2 and the Richmond Kickers 0. Up next for FC Cincinnati, the quarterfinals of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, as the Orange and Blue head to South Florida to take on Miami FC this Wednesday at 7:30. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer comes your way Saturday, July 22nd, when FC Cincinnati hosts Harrisburg City Islanders. For sideline reporter Lindsey Patterson, my broadcast partner Ryan Hanbury, our producer David Ashbrock, I'm Tom Glader saying so long and good night from Nippert Stadium.